Hey there, Buck fans. I want to give you a happy Friday. It is summertime. Welcome to another great episode of Bucs Report, the aftermath. I'm glad you all here. As long as you're here, I need y'all to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Apple Music, Spotify. This is here, the Bucs Report, the aftermath. We give you the for the love of football, then the Bucs. We love football first, and we have experience. You got a current football coach, you got a former coordinator here, and we got someone here with a fucking championship ring for winning. So we got a lot to talk about, and Bucs will be in it, but we're gonna have a more serious conversation here. So viewer discretion is advised. Get your rum, get your popcorn, because all of it will coincide with football, but there's just certain shit that needs to be addressed of what we've been seeing in the news about the NFL, certain players, certain things. So we're going to break it down. But no further ado, let's bring our favorite guy up here, our defensive championship coach, Slick, a.k.a. the British guy who's always fly. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a bit slow on the old NFL news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but there's still stuff going on. But, yeah. You know how it is, brother. You're just taking it in. I'm in the middle of my season now. I got two more games to go, and I just can't wait to ride this one out. It's been a rough season.
I understand, man. Don't worry. Rough seasons, it's okay. It happens. But hey, you're doing your job. Sometimes everybody, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see, every season ain't gonna be roses. You gotta take the crookeds with the straights. So
last year was a championship season. This year's a one win season so far.
If you had to say, Slick, what is it that you want to see improve that you think that can get you a W?
I think the problem is because we coach adults that have jobs and it's technically volunteer. I just want commitment. That's all I want. I want commitment. I want motherfuckers to turn up in January and start preseason training in January and not fucking turn up in March. And I've got a month to try and I've got less than a month to get them ready to go and play a fucking game in April.
I feel you.
That's what I want. But I can't make that kind of shit happen. I can hold people accountable. I can hold my guys accountable. And then for one thing from me as a defensive dude, if I see one more fucking corner stare down a quarterback, I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
Hey, it's funny you just mentioned that. I just got on TikTok. If you guys check me out, AJ Turnup, AJ_Turnup on TikTok. I'll be out there cooking folks, especially Saints fans, because they are fucking delusional, guys. Who that? It should be who ass, and it's them. But that's another conversation. But we got so many good topics we're going to talk about. We're going to first talk about the state affairs of the Bucs. Then we're going to talk about silly-ass NFL players who bitch about making $5,500 a week. And then we're going to talk about another dumbass player from the Detroit Lions who is squandering everything over some bullshit. So we have a lot packed in tonight, guys. But first, let's start off with the state of the Buccaneers. So Vita Vea, of course, is unfortunately holding out. We haven't paid Baker yet. We've discussed this first, but I want to give you this scenario, Slick, and I want you to give me your expertise and tell me, in your opinion, if this happened, what decision would you make? Let's say Vita goes, it's me or Baker. And as a GM, who are you going with, Slick, and why?
Look, I got so many fond memories of Vita, and he's one of my favorite players on the Bucs. But at the end of the day, you can't win without a quarterback. You can win without one of the best nose tackles in football, because at the end of the day, loads of teams are winning without the best nose tackle in football. So, nose tackle isn't as important. I'm not saying he isn't important at all. That's absolute bullshit. He's been like one of the heart and soul kind of dudes on this team. But I think I'd have to go down the Baker route, because I don't think you're going to find another quarterback. I just don't think it's possible. I mean, maybe I'm too scared to go down door number 2. I don't want to look at door number 2 because I'm happy enough with door number 1. And that's just me. Yeah, that's just my mindset. I would have to say goodbye. But that being said, I don't know how much it would cost to franchise tag somebody like Vita, because it's going to be a damn right cheaper fucking franchise tag for Vita than it will be for Baker.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Love Vita. And the dude and I, if you guys don't check out the dude, he's not scared to be crude. However, the next year's draft, we have a lot of defensive tackles coming out, Slick. So if the Bucs are smart, get Vita. Vita right now, Slick, can get you a third. That's the best case scenario. Let's say that happens. You can get a third, and then next year's draft, depending on where we are, we can use that to our advantage to move up and get a quality defensive tackle. Because we have this year, like in a long time, knock on wood, we stay healthy. We have bodies, we have depth, we have something that we haven't had in a very long time. Slick is depth on the defense. So now, Bowles, there's no excuse to bitch out. There's no excuse to be hesitant. If I'm him, Slick, you know me. I'm a cover one, cover two guy. I want to rush the quarterback. I want and I can add a little bit of disguise in there. Slick, don't get it twisted. I'll look like it's a cover one, and then I'll have Antoine Winfield jump back into a cover two coverage just to see what the quarterback will do. But you are right. The Bucs can win without Vita. Vita, I really hope I want you to stay. We love you here. But you have to be realistic. Baker needs to be taken care of first. I looked at it like this, like I would love the Bucs to get him 3 years, 190 million or 80 million, and he has 100 million guaranteed. Just you got to pay him. The way the market is, like I think Daniel Jones is getting 45 million a year for 2 years. Baker Mayfield is better than that.
Yeah.
Please. I think people don't realize this. Like we've talked about this again, but we really need to reiterate it. Tampa Bay Buck fan, do you want to go back to 2009 to 2019 where we had like 7 different quarterbacks? Do you want to do that again? And remember, God forbid, like let's say if the Bucs finish 8-9 or 9-8, you're not getting a top tier quarterback that you think you would want. So why not rock out with Baker Mayfield, the man who has been here consistently, who has been top 10 since he's been here? Remember, first year, he did it with a 32nd ranked run offense. This year after that, when the Bucs were healthy and Cohen, we had a competent OC. We were cooking. Despite having a down year, he still finished top 10. Buck fans, you don't throw that kind of quarterback away. Do you really want this to be Cleveland Browns part 2? Because that's what we would be. So please stick with Baker Mayfield. He's the key. He's going to get us to the promised land, Slick. I feel it in my bones. When we stay healthy. I think I have a Mecca, Slick. I don't know why. I got a Mecca going 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Okay.
The next person behind him, McMillan, will have 702 yards, and he's going to have 6 to 7 touchdowns. The funny thing is, Slick, I have Godwin having a silent 600-yard season, but a good 8 touchdowns. I don't think we're going to overuse him. We don't need to. I think we use him in critical, like, short yard situations if we're going to throw the ball. Ted Hurst, Slick, I think Ted Hurst is going to have, like, 400 yards, but 5 to 6 touchdowns, especially when it comes to the deep, when we get in the red zone. Use his height. Cade Otton, I think he'll have a quiet season, but it's going to be strong, like 470-something yards, 5 touchdowns. If we can get that out of him. Now, you know who I need to get out there, Devin Cope. Devin Cope, I believe in you. Get him in a spread, put him out there, confuse the defense. Shit. This offense, it can be scary. Zach, I'm counting on you. Rollouts, bootlegs, play action. Run your running back to the outside. So we have the potential. Now, Slick, I want you to give me your hopes that you on both sides of the ball that as a coach you want to see established with this Bucs team. I'll let you have the floor, bro.
Okay, let's go with the offense. Established identity. Established identity. I'd like to see someone on the receiving side take the step to be the lead dog. We haven't got that yet. I think Emeka's capable of it, but he did kind of fall down towards the end of the season. He wasn't quite as good as he was. And then I want that run game to be solidified and a top 10 running game. I want us to have a dominant. It doesn't have to be the best. It just needs to be efficient on its down. So it's good on third down. It's a good tone setter. You send your running back out. He gets you good yards, sets up a good second down, and it's a good third down and third and short and your third and shorts. And it just keeps ticking. It doesn't have to be great averages. I can live with a subpar average as long as it's efficient and it needs to be. If it wins on third down and it sets up good first downs, I can live with the fact that we're only getting 3.4 a carry. I can live with that if that's when those 3.4s, that average it really ticks over during those two key downs. I'm down, or even on fourth down. On those downs they kick in, I'm down with it. That's those are my three on offense. Defense, pass rush. Goes without saying, I want to see the elimination and execution of cushion coverage gone from the playbook to a degree. I understand on really, really long yardage downs, but let's not talk about the fucking 4th and 17 or whatever it is we gave up against Atlanta. That shit was just fucking whack. It can't happen again. That's just fucking embarrassing. It is probably one of the most embarrassing games I've ever watched us play. And that's I can live with blowouts, but when it's like that, like you are in the game, you've got them dead to fucking rights, and you go, you know what? Fuck it. Here, have a fucking nab at it. Let's give you a shot.
Right. So as you can see, guys, there is a plan, and the Bucs just have to be able to execute that. I'm with you with the pass rush. At this point, Slick, if I am Bowles, there is no reason to hold back. Everybody should get a shot. That means Bain, Walker, Yaya, Nelson, the people we acquired this offseason, and I forgot his name is Al Mashad or something. But that's the biggest thing that for me, Slick, when it comes to the Bucs, for Bowles, everybody should get a fucking opportunity. If Bain, everybody, when you see that Bain is getting a little tired, rotate him. Keep him fresh, actually. Confuse the offensive line. Okay, Bain is doing a bull rush or he's finesser, then put a bull rush in to see what that tackle can do. Fuck, I don't know how to keep up with this guy. Disguise the defense, and if you're going to do certain coverages that you know that requires timing and ability, just do man press. The worst case, if you need to, Slick, if I'm him, if there's a superstar wide receiver there, just put a safety down to double him. The other guy is not going to get beat, or if he does, he might not even be looking at him. Or put pressure on him where if he is looking, oh shit, I see double coverage, but by then, Bain or whoever comes in, bam. Bowles has got to be ballsy. Let's say if he is going to retire, or let's say he knows his job is on the line, Slick, for me, I'm going out swinging. There's nothing I'm going to do to hold myself back. I am going to put myself in a position to go, if we lose, it's because of me, not because of me being timid.
Because you went out swinging and it didn't go down right.
Right. Bowles, I'm not here to call you out, but do not. I think he has Cooper Kupp PTSD. He has never been the same since that happened. And that's where you got to know when.
So fucking scared of dialing with those kind of
yes. That's like, you got to know when to not be aggressive or fake them. Show aggression, but then back up. You know what? Oh, man, line Antoine Winfield up in the box. Oh, shit, Antoine is blitzing. Have a psych moment. You know what? I'm not going to blitz. Antoine, I want you to jump right back into coverage. Just in case if the wide receiver decides to change his go route to a slant, you're there to break that shit up at least, or pick them off. If you're going to disguise it, Slick, in my opinion, Bowles, you've got to show aggression to make them think that something's going to happen. We've seen what happened with us, Slick, when we do the cushion coverage, it's vanilla. Even if the the coverage is disguised, another receiver is going to be wide open. To beat Bowles, I would always literally have a receiver slick, run a shallow crossing route because he's going to be open.
Shallow crosser, an outbreaking route from the slot, anything that just short and quick, lightning.
Yep.
Yeah. Slants is fucking wide open for
right. Or speed out. Or hell, even a hitch slick, one of my favorites. Have him have the corner. Oh shit, he's gonna go, and then whoop. Oh, now I gotta run 9 yards to get to him. 9
yards to get to him, and you gotta make the tackle too. He slips you.
Right, that's 25 yards right there. Because now you got to pray the safety can get back, and then you got to pray nobody else runs with the receiver to block. So, guys, that is the state of affairs that we want for the Bucs. But now, like I told you, we're going to get in a little bit more of a serious conversation. We're going to talk about, again, some of these youngsters out here don't know how good they have it, Slick, and we're going to break that down. We have an individual, at this point, in my opinion, Slick, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm going to speak for me. Mr. Darrell Baker Jr. does not appreciate the blessing that he has in football, and he wants to bitch and moan. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
How these NFL contracts work. Since everybody think we're rich, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. First year, my base salary was about $150,000. Coming in as a rookie thinking I'm about to make $750K this year, and I got hit with reality. I didn't make the 53 off the rip coming out of camp, so I was on practice squad. When you're on practice squad, you don't make the base salary of whatever's on your contract. You get that minimum of what is set for the league. At that time, it was about $211,000. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably saying, oh, that's still great money. What is he talking about? Yeah, but you only get paid during the season. On practice squad, you don't really know if you're going to be with that team the whole year. So you can easily be released. With that, you have to pay moving costs. You might have to break a lease, which is usually about 2 months of rent up front. So my first paycheck, they took.
Okay. You ungrateful asshole. $5,500 a week. Let me tell you this, Slick. The average individual income in the United States, it says roughly 60 to 70,000. However, for individuals living completely alone, the average household income is $56,065. So let's do the math, Slick. $5,500 a week. Most Americans, Slick, don't get $5,500 a month. Let's say, Slick, he was fortunate to get paid for 20 weeks of his service. So 5,500 times 20, that's $110,000. Now, with the taxes and his agent fees. Oh, and remember, certain states, Slick, don't have state income tax. Others have smaller income tax. He was in Arizona at the time. I think they only pay 2.5%. So 110,000 times 0.25%. Like, that ain't shit. So let's say, Slick, on a good day, he still walks away with $70,000. Or let's say 65.
Mm-hmm.
Slick, would you be able to manage $65,000 to get
of
you?
Course. I mean, I think one of the things I'm interested, like what he was saying, was about, like, if you, let's say you were a 1 weeker, yeah, you go in, you do your 1 week and what have you. Sure, that there is a risk to that. I totally get it. I get that. Like, but most of those kind of people, they're not just in there for the week, right? Those kinds of people, and what I mean by that is, we're talking about the training camp guys, right? The training camp guys will be there till the end of training camp. There'll be some that don't, but they're staying in the team hotel. They're not staying, and there's no month's rent that's got to be paid, right? If you are coming into a NFL team and you don't know you're going to make it, like you're not fucking sure, you're going to order yourself. This is me. This is just my brain. Steve Probert wanted you to come to the NFL. Let's say I'm a young, chipper, fucking 25-year-old that can play corner or what have you. We'll go safety because that's more believable because I'm the color of my skin. So I go, yeah, cool, no worries. I'm going to stay in a hotel, or I'm going to say, look, Bucs, I don't know how long you're going to, what's the deal with accommodation, right? Because they might turn around, you stay in the team hotel. They might have a hotel that we'll just take the hotel bill out your thing. How much is the hotel? This much. Okay, cool. Your hotel bill is not going to be that fucking much money a week, right? Hotels are expensive. I stayed in a hotel when I was in Tampa. It cost me damn sight less than $300. Now, I stayed in a rough part of town, but Airbnbs and all these things are available. So if I was staying in a city like Tampa or wherever, I'm looking at booking a cheap hotel where I stay there if I'm worried that I'm not going to get paid. I'm still going to take a bulk of that money, even if my hotel cost me $500 a week. That's a fair amount for a hotel, right? $500 a week. Yeah. For a solid, cheap hotel that's in this, that's a decent distance to the facility. So you don't have to worry about months and months of rent because you're like, I'm just staying in the hotel until my contract's legit. Like you've made it, sir. Cool. Let's stay. Now we got that money. But yeah, when you're getting free five grand a week or something, yeah, you've got to be careful.
5,500. I look at it like this. It's like it's a priority situation and it's a mindset. You just said it. Why do you, if you can find, even if you did get an apartment, Slick, you can go find something at a reasonable price. Now, here is where the ego comes into it. Well, this is what they'll do. Well, what if somebody recognizes me? If you're on the practice squad, motherfucker, you ain't recognizable. Nobody's going to know who you are. Slick, I currently was, last year, y'all, I bumped into a first-round pick that the Bucs had in Kalijah Kancey. And again, not a lot of people knew who he was. One is because people have a shitty narrative of the NFC South and Tampa, but he wasn't bombarded. People weren't trampling over him. And Slick, we know Kancey, that's a first-round pick. He was chilling. Kancey, if you see this, you're a great young man. You're cool. And that's a good thing. And another thing is, Slick, for his benefit, he was a humble individual. He didn't flash. He wasn't acting like he knew he was this Greek god out here or NFL god out here. He was being himself, a silent individual doing what he needed to do with his friends and family. Again, Slick, we just said it, $5,500 fucking dollars. Even after taxes, that's like $2,500 a week. How is it that these guys, again, Slick, I think the problem that I have is that a lot of these motherfuckers out here don't realize that's a blessing. And you're doing what you love, Slick. That's the thing. And you're doing a job you love. You only are.
I'm just shocked that somebody's worried about. If you're worried that you're going to get cut in a week, why are you booking a home? Right. Practice squad play guys are on the cusp of making the team and not making the team. They don't know for a fact that they're on the fucking team. Those guys, they're staying. If I was in their shoes, I'm staying in a hotel until I know. And they call me up and say, Steve, you made the fucking 50 free. Boom. Where am I in the depth chart? You're about here. Cool. All right. We can ring up the agent. We can book that home now. We can go and rent somewhere. Until then, I'm staying in hotels because you can't afford to, like the gentleman said, we could go and stay somewhere and they want a couple of months rent up front. Well, what you're being paid is what some Americans get in a month, but you're getting it in a week.
Exactly. But that's the issue that I have, Slick, is that your everyday person in the States, one, they want you, Slick. I'm not going to, in the United States, they want you to have this most professional-esque mindset. You got to be the top of the line, and you might get between $18 to $23 an hour. Now, mind you, you get fired from that, you ain't got most Americans don't have thousands of dollars set aside. So that's why I said, Slick, let's say he makes 20 weeks and they just say, you know what, we're going to cut our ties. We're done. If you are still left with $60-something thousand, Slick, most Americans in their life will never touch that. What are you bitching and complaining about? Oh, we think we're rich. Well, you are far more rich than everybody else out here, motherfucker.
We can trade places, brother. We can trade places.
We can trade places. You want to work for Subway, or you want to work, you want to switch what other people are doing. And mind you, Slick, we got to deal. Most Americans work a job that they don't like. and we do it because it's for survival and for our loved ones and all that. And we got to deal with sometimes asshole bosses or people that give you shit because they don't like you. Look, Slick, I don't give a fuck if the coach like me. As long as the checks are cleared and I'm getting an opportunity, we don't have to be best friends. But imagine, Slick, you're working a job where you're making only $18, $23 an hour. You might have to kiss ass, but even if you do, they still can let you go. And you don't get a big-ass severance. You're going to get your last 2 weeks, or you'll get whatever PTO hours you
I just got my severance from my company. I get paid a salary. They decided that instead of paying me my salary, they were going to pay it as days work because I didn't complete a full month. And it just so happened we're in a short month. So I'm missing probably about $1,500.
See?
Just for missing a week. But realistically, I'm actually should only be missing about $700. But they've said, no, we're going to pay you like this. And they've decided to pay me per day. And I'm like, fuck off.
See, that's the problem. Darrell Baker Jr., would you like to be out here and trade places with me and Slick? Because I can tell you this right now. If you're not appreciative, me and Slick, what if the Dolphins or any NFL team called you right now and said, Slick, we are interested in seeing what you can do? Would you would take that opportunity, wouldn't you?
I'd have to, because I have to see if I can do it. I've got no choice.
I have no choice, right?
I'd have a very, very strong conversation with my wife about it, and then say, look, I want to give this a go. If it doesn't work out, I'll take any fucking job. I need to do this.
That's all I'm saying. That's the thing, Slick. Thousands and thousands of players, Slick, who never got that opportunity because one, coaches didn't know what the fuck they were doing, or it's just whatever. There's so many variables that these other players, Slick, that would kill to have this opportunity and blessing. And that is the issue nowadays, Slick, with a lot of these youngsters in the NFL. They don't appreciate the blessing, and it's a privilege and an honor to play for the NFL. It's not a right. College ain't shit.
It's easier for practice squad players, man. It's easier. It used to be much harder. They used to get a lot less.
Right. Well, more than that, Slick, for college people, I know y'all going to say, well, you never played at the collegiate level. Bro, put it this way. When you are good, even when you are a superstar, Slick, you know this, at the collegiate level, you are a man amongst boys. That shit gets different when you go to the NFL. How many times, Slick, have we seen these big-time college studs get to the NFL and lay a fucking egg?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's different. It is very
different. Clowney, right? He was a number 1 overall draft pick. Everyone fucking Ball of the Ball, one of the best players in his draft class. He's never been a premier pass rusher, ever. I think he maybe hit, I don't know, has he ever hit 10 sacks?
Who was this?
Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to look it up right now. And that's a prime example. Mario Williams. Williams, Slick. Remember, he got picked over Calvin Johnson as the number 1 pick. I guarantee you they're sitting back like, shit, I wish we didn't do that. No, Slick, he's never gotten over 10 sacks.
No, the best he's got is 9.5.
9.5. And he did that about 3 times. 9.5 in 2023.
And we say the magic number for a defensive end or an edge rusher is the magic 10, and he's never hit the magic 10. So he's a good player. He's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he was not the best draft pick. I wonder if there's somebody from his draft. What, he came in 2015. Let's have a look at the 2015 draft class.
Go ahead, Slick.
2015 draft class. Let's see if there was somebody else. I bet you there'll be somebody out there that everyone's like, oh, fuck yeah, that was the same draft class that he was on, and this guy will be a fucking stud. It might be possible there was nobody on it, and he was just the best of the cream of the crap, so to speak.
Yeah, but the point is, though, Slick, like you said, you were a first-round pick. How do you not live up to those expectations? But remember, guys, the NFL and the college is different. And now, Slick, with the NIL, it's players are not being developed as they should be. And that is the problem. People, these youngsters literally just want to get the
Khalil
bag.
Mack?
What's up?
Khalil Mack was in that draft class.
Oh,
Aaron Donald was in that draft class, picked by the St. Louis Rams at 13, 12 spots after Clowney. I mean, come on. C.J. Mosley, Ryan Shazier, who else we got? Mike Evans.
wait, when did Giovanni Clowney got drafted in 2015? I think.
Yes, no, 2014.
Oh, he was. Oh, okay, that's right. He was 2014. Oh shit, that's right.
Yes,
Whoops.
sir.
Whoops.
Yeah, there's some genuine dudes in this draft that got drafted after.
That's right, because he was the first overall pick in 2014. Wait, you said Aaron Donald? Oh, that's right.
Aaron Donald was 13th overall.
See? Now do you see why, y'all, it's a blessing and a privilege and honor to play at that level? Just because, again, what you did in college, for you youngsters out there, what you did in college, that's nice. It doesn't mean that it's going to translate to the NFL. First of all, everybody in the NFL is a top dog. Even the sorriest team will beat out all the best college teams. This is why you should cherish when you get there.
I'm going to give you a little bit of something that will make you laugh.
What's up?
Okay. Aaron Donald's draft profile by the NFL is a 5.9 average or backup special teamer grade.
Wow.
Aaron Donald, right? So they did not think of him very, very high. I mean, his athlete score was really, really good for the combine and what have you. So he was super athletic. Short, scrappy, instinctive, highly productive defensive lineman who does not look the part, but inspires confidence. He's an exception to the rule. Is the type you root for, has the quickness and athleticism and the motor to earn a spot as a rotational free technique in a fast-flowing 4-3 scheme. Weaknesses: marginal height, frame is nearly maxed out, hands are more active than strong, could play with more pop and power, overpowered in the run game, and ground up by double teams. Gets snared and controlled by bigger, longer blockers. Not a two-gap player. He has some tweener traits, lacks ideal length, and bend to play outside. This is why we don't panic when someone goes, oh, but the grade on him's not so great. Who gives a shit? Now, I'm going to bring up Clowney's because why not? You know, we're in that world now. So,
yeah,
his draft profile. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't know what you're going to get in the draft until it turns up on practice and starts playing in games.
Yeah.
And that's really the bottom line. Okay.
And that is why, Slick, you got to cherish things, and it's a priority situation.
Are you ready for this one? 7.5 perennial pro. Oh, shit. It was that bad that he had to go. Okay, so but this is what we're trying to say, guys. At the end of the day, the draft is like an informed lottery. You don't know what you're going to get until you get it. Some of them are obvious. Some of them aren't so much obvious. And I think in today's NFL, it's really hard because everyone's finding that little 1% more that they can put in. Coaches are trying to find that 1% more they can get out of their players, whether it's through nutrition, whether it's through this, whether it's through work ethic. All those things are being maxed out in college as much as they physically can. So you don't know what you're going to get really until it turns up. You're making an informed decision based on them playing at a lower level. Yeah. And hoping that can translate and your coaches can upskill in places. That's essentially what's happening. But as always, guys, that's what's happening with the Buccaneers. So this is where I'm at with it. I personally think the Buccaneers should go down the route of extending Baker Mayfield. That's just my personal view. I like the guy's jib. I like the way he plays, and I generally don't think the Buccaneers are going to find another quarterback down door number 2. There is no Tom Brady in waiting this time. You've got your quarterback. I would go with that guy. Could someone say, "Oh, well, I don't know if he's going to win us a Super Bowl"? Okay, it's a genuine point. But do you know anyone who is either? Because you're talking about, like, you've got to be sure you're going to extend Baker Mayfield for all this money that he's going to win us a championship. Okay, name me someone who can come to the team that's going to do that job better than Baker. And the answer will be, in my opinion, nobody. But if you bring someone, don't give me some college fucking wet behind the ears, never played in a pro offense fucking dude that you just fucking chode jerk over with your fucking Kleenex. I don't need that shit. Give me a real name that you generally like. Yeah, that guy's going to compete for a chip. The Buccaneers can genuinely go and get. I'll wait because I'll be still waiting. Trust me, that person doesn't exist yet. Maybe in the future, possibly. But Bowles has got to work with what he's got. And right now, he's got himself a pass rusher. He got himself one of the better pass rushers in the draft on paper. That doesn't mean the guy's going to turn into a stud. Doesn't mean any of that. Hopefully we can get Vita Vea re-signed and he's popping and we got the team got back together. Hopefully we can get some of these signings working and get that replacement for Levante David working. If we get replacement sorted for Levante, I have no doubt that this team can go forward. I don't think it's going to be a carbon copy because Levante David was special. He did look slower and weaker in his last year, which is probably why he decided to hang up the boots and the cleats and the helmet and the pads. So I totally get it. Well, what about you guys? What about people in the comments? Let's just go through a couple. We got don't operate scared. Just make the next right move, whether that's re-signing or moving on. That's a fair point. There is no right move. The right move is the right move is only proven after you've made the move. It's done in hindsight. There is no right move. You could sign Baker Mayfield and it turns into a disaster. You could let Baker Mayfield go and he goes and plays for Team X and Team X goes to the playoffs and has a really good run and we're left with fucking Billy bullshit. That's just what happens in this world.
Sorry about that. I guess we were speaking too much real shit and they said we don't like that. They said we didn't like what AJ Turnip was talking about. So, but anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But what were you just discussing, Slick?
I'm just talking about the whole Baker Mayfield thing. And before you came on, I did pull up Clowney was written down as a perennial All-Pro.
Yes.
His draft
thing. So. You are 100% correct. I mean, this is why, though, this ties back into the Bucs. I don't give a fuck what they tell you guys in college. That's college. That's literally a crapshoot. It's a 50-50. Joe Montana, all these guys, it was still a 50-50. You don't know. I mean, didn't we? Jamarcus Russell was considered a good prospect. Ryan Leaf was taken before Peyton Manning. And we saw how that story played out. That's all I think, Slick, what we trying to explain to people.
But it doesn't matter how many times. I think it's that thing of hope, right? Mm-hmm. That thing of hope. You get bought into the hype of hope because that's what the NFL draft does. It gives you hope that your team can turn it around. But all I'm saying is, door number 2 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doesn't exist, in my opinion. Unless somebody flat out turns around and says, I want to be traded to the Buccaneers and they want to take a really cheap contract and and they're a really good player. There is nobody that's going to come in and do the same job as Baker. And This is a great one by Devin Herbert. I totally agree with this. Let's pretend he doesn't win a Super Bowl. It's still worth it because of not having a quarterback. That's
Amen.
It. I'd rather be really shit, but I don't because I get to keep $90 million in my back pocket. It's not your money, by the way. I get to keep $90 million in my team's back pocket, and we just are shit for another few more years, rather than maybe, okay, we're a team that's how many champion? Not everyone's gonna win championships, but you put the best team together you can. You ain't gonna always. Not every team's gonna put. Every team's trying to put that championship team together. The Lions have been fucking doing it with Jared Goff. Jared Goff still hasn't gotten it fucking done. But people will turn around and tell me that Jared Goff's worth more than Baker. He's done the same as Baker. Diddly fucking squat.
Facts.
Josh Allen still hasn't won shit, and he may retire ever winning a damn fucking thing.
Lamar Jackson.
Tim Kelly never won fuck all.
Well,
he's got those asterisk rings. He got the ones that they give you in the AFC, winning the AFC championship that nobody wants to go.
Well, here's a great history example, Slick. Phillip Rivers. Hey, he kept them in the dance, just didn't get it done because of other teams. But again, Slick, what if Baker gets us through the divisional round and 2 NFC championships? Will I be frustrated that we didn't win? Yes, but let's say he decides to move on.
I could honestly turn around and say, when you look back at those years, and even now, like how bad last year was probably the worst blemish we've had in a while. Even the shitty bowls years where we got to the playoffs, got knocked out, it was just nice being a part of fucking playoff fucking football when you've had a drought. When you've had a drought for years. I mean, I haven't been a Bucs fan as long as you have. I got into the Bucs in 2014, and I didn't enjoy any playoff fucking football. All my friends were talking about their playoff teams and how good their playoff teams were and arguing about if their team's going to make the fucking Super Bowl. And I'm sat there going, yeah, well, we didn't even fucking get close to fucking qualifying because we're right at the end.
Slick, I can tell you this, bro. After 2010, we thought we were doing something. When 2011 hit, the reality was everything from here on out is fucking hope. And that's the thing. You don't want to live in hope. Slick, that is why people on TikTok get on my ass when I talk about the Bucs. I said the Bucs overall, Slick, has more than hope. We have depth. We have talent. Other teams like the bitch-ass Saints, you have fucking hope. Slick, I'm not joking. A guy literally on TikTok said Tyler Shaw already is better than Derek Carr. I said after 8 fucking games. I mean, yeah. His ceiling, and look at what he did. I said, what did he do in 8 fucking games? Slick, that's like me literally. If I got into the league, some miracle, I ran for, let's say.
This isn't new. Mike Glennon had a good fucking half a year once upon a time, and everyone was like, well, wait. When they brought in Josh McCown, everyone's like, well, why not give Glennon a go? Glennon had a good final part of the season. We won some games with him. He was all right. He wasn't too great, Larry Longneck. Let's put him the fuck in. And then he went in after McCown was playing poorly. He went in and did Glennon things. I think they won a game with him, and then they sucked. And then we went into the James Winston. Era. So it's one of those things. Anybody can. We've seen guys look good for half a year. We've seen guys look good for a year, and then we've seen them the following year or the year after that. It's hope. I get it. I get it. We've all been there. We've had a player that we're like, oh, I said this about our running backs.
You did.
All our running backs since in the most recent years, so since I'd say Arians took over, it was Rojo. When's Rojo going to be the lead dog? Rojo became the lead dog. Wasn't the great. He flaked out. Then we had Playoff Lenny. Playoff Lenny finished the season super fucking strong. Playoff Lenny was probably, but we were all sitting there going, we've got our running back. We don't need to worry about shit. Playoff Lenny falls off the fucking cliff. What do? We go and get Rashad White. Rojo. We get Rashad White. Rojo comes back. Rojo's still the dude. Rashad White has that really good game in Germany. Has a great ending of the season. A really positive end to the season, even though we were pretty poor at running the football. But he had games that were fun to watch where the run game was pretty dominant. It wasn't consistent enough. So then you look at that and go, right, that's our guy. And now we got Bucky. Bucky started this. Bucky fought for the role, got the role, but he hasn't had the role for a whole season yet.
They haven't. But again, you said it. Hope. We can hope a lot. Slick, we hope for Bucky. But until we see consistent productivity, we can't say that. Slick, That's like literally, I'm going to just ask you a simple question, Slick. Who would you expect, in your opinion, to have more of a productive season between Myles Garrett and Bane? Who would you pick?
What right now?
Yeah, right now. Exactly, right now.
It's going to be Myles Garrett.
And why is that, Slick? Can you explain to people
He's
why?
a proven fucking veteran who knows exactly what he's doing. He's that fucking guy.
Thank you. But, Slick, that is where certain casual, Slick, of the game of football that fucks me up, that is what people like you and me, we would go by. What we've seen consistently and consecutively. I don't give a fuck about what they are projected to do. Slick, Bane is projected to do good at a high level. You said this before, Slick. Every first round pick is projected to make an impact. That doesn't mean shit. That is what we want y'all to understand. Bane could literally have a season, Slick. Let's say, Slick, he has 16 sacks. More than likely, the Bucs are the number 3 defense. However, he could fuck around and lay an egg and only give us 2 sacks. And the Bucs would be 19th overall in the defense. So we go by who we've seen mostly. Because now, Slick, when I brung up the stats, a lot of people shut the fuck up about it. I said Kancey is going to be one of the key figures. Look at what he did when he played. Slick, shut him up completely. When Kancey is healthy, Slick, we've seen what he can do. Now, Slick.
That's his problem. His problem is his health. It's never been ability
right,
and availability.
Right. So let's say, Slick, he plays 17 games. I think his best season, he had like 7.5 sacks. Slick, what if he gets a sack each game? Just 1 sack each game. That's 17 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
That means more than likely the Bucs defense is going places. So again, guys, we've seen that consistently from Kancey. Kancey is what is basically our Gerald McCoy. I can tell you this right now, Slick. Gerald used to frustrate me because we saw the potential his first 3 years when he wasn't.
He was a great Buccaneer, great player, but he just wasn't. He wasn't Warren Sapp, and he didn't have that killer edge in him. But he was a great free tech. He's one of the best. People forget that for at least 4-5 years of his career, he was one of the best free techs in football.
It was him, Sue, and Geno Atkins, and it rotated. And it rotated. That's what it did. It's football. It rotates. But again, Slick, like you said, we are looking at me and you and real football people. We judge by productivity at least 3 to 4 years, not 1 year. Remember, Slick, how we used to tell people, hey, what the fuck happened to Cooper Kupp after that magical 2021 season?
He's just been a good wide receiver other than that. But
exactly.
Because he's had that prestige of that 1 year, the announcers talk him up.
Right.
There's no point in talking Godwin up because I won't be surprised their stats aren't too dissimilar. I would not be surprised because his down
here's the funny thing, Slick. People don't have context. When Coop came there, he was the man automatically for the most part. Godwin had to earn his stripes because he had Evans on the other side. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans. I don't give a fuck what a lot of y'all think. That's the top 10 wide receiver of all time. The numbers and his consistency has shown it. So imagine that. Kupp immediately was thrusted into that position. You don't believe us? Hey, Slick, didn't Cooper and Puka kind of have similar stats together and similar productivity? Why is that? They thrust them in there, and that's Sean McVay. That's Sean McFucking-Vay. So again, for any of you NFL players, I just want to throw this out here. For y'all bitching and moaning about $5,500 a week, I want you to trade your salary to me and Slicks, and I want us to have your lives. Because Slick, not only that, they go to facilities where they have 3 to 4 star chefs. They have a lot of the doctors. They have health care. They have so much shit, Slick, that benefits them than we do. Men like you and I, we have to
remember,
do
they ain't worked a 9 to 5, AJ. They've not seen, some of them ain't even seen that world because they go out of school. Some of them don't have. I mean, some guys get jobs when they're in school and they get some jobs when they're in college. But for the most part, they're so busy. They've gone from high school, being a high school kid, playing high school football, having the time of their life playing high school football. Then they get brought into their college. They're having fun in college. They got no fucking worries. If they're lucky, they sign a bit, get a little bit of that NIL money. If they don't, it doesn't matter because they get their shot in the NFL and you get their, like you said, their little bit of money. They ain't worked at a
9 to 5, like you said.
9 to 5, or even a shift. Yeah, they ain't been down the shift and worked in the quarry. They ain't been down to the worked at a bagging groceries yet. They don't know what that looks like. So of course, in their little bubble, that sucks. It sucks, but it doesn't suck. It sounded like it sucked when he even said it. I was like, that does sound a bit shitty. But at the same time, I'm like, compared to my world, and I'm considered middle by the salary that I most recently had. I'm just on the cusp of being considered middle class.
Amen, bro. Amen. And again, this is what they'll try to do. Some of the people, Slick, that come from, poor background. Well, I know what it's like to struggle. Motherfucker, a lot of us did. And you know what the difference is, Slick? We couldn't run a 4.3. We weren't 6'3", 340 pounds of pure muscle. So you had an advantage. Now, Slick, the Joe the plumber who's 5'8", 179 pounds, who don't have that ability, it's harder for him because the world ain't going to give a fuck about him. Now, I want to show this to the world, Slick. And if NFL people are watching, I just want you to take a look. I still got a little in me. I can give you at least half a season, but I want to show you something, everybody.
My man.
And I'm doing that part-time, NFL people. Imagine giving AJ Turnup between 60 to 90 days of full preparation of where I can focus clearly on my nutrition, my diet, my workouts. I'm doing that part fucking time. If you give me a chance, NFL, I can get back to doing 400 with like that. So again, this is not to me to flex. I'm doing what I got to do, but for people out there,
a little bit flex, bro. You got to flex that a little bit.
Yeah, a little something. But again, ladies and gentlemen, people like Slick and I would love to get that opportunity. I've met Slick. Slick's got the perfect height to be a good corner, and he still got a little something left in him.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing left for them.
Shit! I got something left in me. I know.
I'm there for the coaching role. I ain't
no playing. I can do both. If I don't make it in playing, I can help you in coaching. But I tell you this, NFL, I got at least a good 6 to 8 games for you. I ain't here to tell you that I'm going to take you to the championship, but I'll be productive. I can get you about 40, 50 yards a game if you need it. Because, again, the way that these soft-ass players are today, they not like in the early 2000s. They ain't Joey Porters of the world and Dawkins and Lynch and Ray Lewis out there anymore. It ain't them guys. They ain't there because the rules allowed it. So if anything, Slick, that's why I say don't doubt yourself, Slick. The way the rules are set up, you can do a lot more. You can last a lot longer. Again, would you rather play in this era, Slick, or 2005 football?
Oh, yeah.
They'll fuck you up. And look, this is what they'll say. Can you make the next play, boy? Yeah, I think so, Coach. Get on out there, Coach. I'm bleeding out of my ear. Get him some ear pops, y'all. Get him some ear mops. Yeah, there you go. Get that little blood out there and get on out there. See, we came from a time, Slick, where, hey, and look, you didn't get paid like these motherfuckers today. That's the problem. A lot of y'all getting paid way too much than what you're worth. Me, Slick, they wouldn't like me. You're a first round? Yeah, I'm going to give you about $600,000. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. You got to show me. And this next subject, Slick, and we're going to hurry up and go through it. When you behave a certain way, this is why they treat you like that. And before I do that, Slick, the NFL minimum salary making the 53-man roster is $885,000 for rookies, $1.3 million for vets. Slick, I tell you this right now. I make that kind of money. Me and my missus, we're going to be so better off.
Yeah.
Because, Slick, I've seen preseason games where I've seen motherfuckers with gold bedazzled diamond chains. Slick, I would be embarrassed to go out there and be on the fucking bench with chains on. Because I haven't earned it. You just said it. Yep. You wasting fucking money. What if you get cut? Now you got to be embarrassed and go back and get that shit back. And that takes me to my next example of embarrassment, Slick. Detroit Lions. My man, Terry Arnold, faces felony charges for armed robbery, kidnapping in Tampa, Florida. 23 years old, Slick.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why? Why, Slick? What the Slick?
Was someone's
they stole some shit from him. Hey, you want to know something? Call the fucking police. Have them do your dirty work. Hey, I was robbed, officer. Go get. I need you to. And your shit is insured most likely anyway. I hope. But have the police handle your shit.
And if it's not, you've got to let that shit slide, and you got to move the fuck on, because at the end of the day, you do that vengeance shit and you get caught.
And now look at him.
Now you're going to be fucking in a position where you can't drop the fucking soap no more.
Right, your cellmate is Peaches. Your cellmate is Peaches, or Billy Blue. And now they're gonna look at you and say, "What's up? Hey, I got this honey bun here for you. It ain't shit for free." You literally went from being blessed, making top tier money, where Slick, if you do it right, even if you're average, let's say Slick, he's average at best, and he is 5 years in the league, and he only made the minimum salary. So let's do that, Slick. Let's do the math. I'm going to do the math with you. So let's say he played 5 solid years and then he doesn't have a career anymore. $885,000 times, 5 years, $4,275,000. After taxes and all that shit, let's say he walks away with a cool $2 million. You can still, for $2 million, you do things right with the right investment, the right spending, you can take care of your family. You can get a nice $400,000 to $600,000 house and take care of yourself.
If you can buy a house, I always say this: if you can buy your house outright, if someone said to you like, "AJ, do you rent or do you buy? Have you bought your house?"
Hell no, I'm renting.
You don't mind me asking.
I can't afford to buy. Right. I ain't on that level yet.
Right. I've got a mortgage with my house. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you could buy a house, how much money would and let's say that's all he was able to do. He just bought the house. The rest of his money got wasted on fucking whatever. But he had enough money to buy a house outright. Do you know how much free money you've got to spend when you don't have to spend? My mortgage is about $1,200, right? Roughly in that ballpark, about $1,300. If I didn't have to spend that every fucking month, that's $1,300 from my pay packet that stays in my pocket. That's a fucking metric shit ton of money when you don't have a lot of money. That's all you need is someone to go. If someone just turn around to you and say, "AJ, for you and your lady, I've just decided, fuck it, I bought your house. Here you go. Here's the deeds. Fucking take the keys. Fuck off." You'd be like, "Oh my God, I now never need to worry about, I'm never really going to need to have to worry about money." Because your only outgoings are your amenities, your life overheads, food, warmth, electricity, internet, because internet's a thing now. Like, obviously it's not considered a luxury. It was a luxury when I was a kid, and it's probably a luxury when you were a kid too. But it's a normal necessity now, right? Those are the only things you've got to pay for. Exactly. Now you don't need to earn quite as much. Or if you do earn well and you have a decent paying job, let's say you get a $20 an hour job, the amount of money you get to keep in your pocket just because you were able to buy the house
That's right. It's so many things Slick that you can do, and mind you, the NFL has mandatory financial classes that you can learn from. You can talk to lawyers. You can do so much shit. The issue is Slick, and this right here, you don't have to speak for this. Like, I'm going to speak on this. This is for the culture. Culture, I'm talking to you right now. Raise your fucking young ones to do better. Raise them not by ego and pride, because that's the problem. A lot of us out there are raising our children to do stupid shit because to keep up with the Joneses, or what you saw with your favorite rapper done, not realizing that shit is fake already. That's a whole nother conversation. But again, have discernment, humility, confidence and love and all that. That's how you're supposed to raise people to do the right fucking thing. Priorities. When you, again, that is a terrible tragedy. But I hope he gets punished for it, and I hope that the Lions take his money away. Why, Slick? Because, again, there are literally, Slick, thousands of other people that would love to be in his fucking position. And here's another funny thing, Slick. He wasn't even good enough to be behaving that way. Motherfucker, at best, you were average. Slick, you said it earlier. If you know you're not even hardly good enough to be at that position, why would you squander it? Slick, I would be so fucking loyal to that team and do everything I can to stay there. If you know you're,
I'll tell you right now, I don't have it. I think I believe he said his Uber driver, his driver had stolen something like I think it was in value of like $250,000. I don't think I could own anything worth that much money, even if you ransacked my house and took every valuable out of it. I generally don't think. I think if someone robbed my house, they walk away with $2,000 max. There's not enough shit in my, other than the car, keeping the car out of it, just stuff that's inside the house. You ain't going to walk away with a lot of fucking money if you've decided to rob me. It's not worth robbing me.
Well, again, Slick,
it's not worth your time.
That's the fucking problem, though, Slick. People don't realize this. When you get to a certain level, you have to behave a certain way. You will be a target. When you have millions, and if you flex like you have it, motherfuckers out there who don't have it will take it. The haves and the have-nots. So why would you put yourself out there for no fucking reason when you don't have to? Again, Slick, they don't realize this. You get to wake up and do something you love. The most that you do is 6 hours, 4 days a week. And you get to do the shit that you love. You ain't got, even if your coach is a prick, the checks overshadow that. Oh, well, AJ, this is what they do. You don't know. It's not that simple. It is, motherfucker. It's very simple. Well, I got family. If your family is on that bullshit, then you need to check them, Slick. If I made it to the NFL right now,
you haven't made it yet. You got to get to that generational wealth is when you get to the point where you can start going, here, guys, have some of this. Yeah.
Right. And here's the crazy thing, Slick. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, when you behave this way, those same people that you talk about, oh, these greedy, hungry ass owners, you literally feed the fuel to the fire because now you are statistic. They can easily go back. Those old white men that they love to shit on, but you didn't gave them a reason to go. You see why I don't want to pay these motherfuckers this kind of money? Slick, put it this way. If the NFL called you right now, you were able to get to the league, and you were guaranteed 17 games. But here's the funny thing. This is what they tell you. Here's the catch. For our reasons, you can't do Bucs Report the Aftermath until the season's over. Would you have a problem with that?
No, I'd have to do I've got to take care of mine first.
Right, and why is that?
I know that you guys would root for me anyway, so
I know exactly. But that's the point, Slick. Priorities. You would understand. You would go, this is more important. But for these youngsters out here nowadays, Slick, keeping it real goes wrong. Well, yeah, I want to look like
you're going through it right now. I've just gone through it. We both have in a similar situation where I've got laid off. You've got laid off. And I remember saying to my wife at this point in time, they said my company said on the 14th of August, we will no longer be trading. You will not have a fucking job. Until then, you're employed. Cool. No worries. So I go out and start looking for a job. And I said to my wife, if I get to August 14th and I don't have a job, I'll sign up to fucking McDonald's. I don't give a fuck. All I need is something to come in. And luckily I found a job. I got a good job. I got a decent paying job. It's not as much as my last one, but it pays all right. It's good. It's better than what I was on before, previous. So it's not a step down really. But it doesn't change my ability to live. It just changes the amount of money I'm able to save, which is good. So I'm okay with that. And my wife's had a promotion at work, so that's always a good thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to get the stab at is I was willing to go and work what's considered a shitty job just so I can make sure I take care of my fucking family, because that is the number one. As a man, it is your ability to earn money to help your family. Yeah, if my wife has a career and she's better than me, that's fair enough. I'll be the house husband. I ain't got a fucking problem with that. However, that's not really the case. But one of my colleagues had seen the job and he was like, well, that's shit money. And I'm like, better than that. It's fucking better than that.
It's better than a donut. And that's the thing. It's like, this is where these youngsters, I want you to hear me, youngsters. It's better than nothing. You are in a position to be blessed. If you do it the right way, by 30, you can be retired with a full, healthy body, and you can live off the earnings if you save it right. Hell, how many times, Slick, have we seen NFL players who retired go on and do NFL network jobs? You can if you invest and do things the right way, the money will make money in your sleep. But if you do stupid shit, then you should expect bad results. And the problem, Slick, that I've had from people who give them passes, this is what pisses me off. Well, here's a kid. He's 23, Slick. That's not a fucking kid. In America, you can vote at 18. You can go to war at 18. You can get into certain nightclubs, Slick, at 18. He is an adult. Well, this is another one, Slick, and I really cooked them. Well, the frontal lobe doesn't develop to 25. That shit's outdated, Slick. That's outdated science. That's literally okay, Slick. And another one in a workout field. You remember when people used to do sit-ups? You used to have to do all the way. Nowadays, a lot of people have said that's just gonna fuck your back up. Crunches are better. Yeah. Okay, so for you people out there who want to just depend on science, first of all, you got to update. You got to make sure you're updated with the right shit. So again, none of that involved, social media. No, he made the wrong choice, Slick. Like you said, Slick, if someone robs you, call the fucking police.
And if the police ain't going to do anything about it, you've got to let it go, and you've got to you learn. Okay, I ain't going to trust people like that anymore. I'm not going to have a fucking Uber driver that has a key to my fucking house.
That's it. Why do that? It's again, Slick, that is the problem.
There's no way this guy just robbed you, right? There's something's gone dodge for. That's why he knows it's the Uber driver in his opinion. Yeah, he's convinced that's why he's gone to all this fucking trouble. You know it's him, which means he had access. You allowed him access, so you allowed a level of trust. You're learning from that is don't trust motherfuckers who aren't that you don't feel are actually trustworthy. And i.e., I'd say this in a nicer way, don't fucking trust anybody. If you got too much expensive shit, someone might just look going, I can make that. Even the fucking maid. The maid's going to come into the house. I got a maid to clean my shit up. Cool. You leave 50s on the side. Some of those 50s might go missing. Some of those diamond earrings might go missing.
Right. Again, like you said, Slick, it's about discernment and it's about common fucking sense. Don't let everyone know that you have money. If you don't realize this, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the most powerful people, if you saw them on the street, you wouldn't know who they are because real wealth runs in silence. No one's going to tell you how much they make. Why? For that particular reason, because you don't want simple-minded ass people trying to take your shit. That is something that
you only vote for the people who's got it as well, right?
Right.
That's when it becomes a pissing contest. You got a bunch of millionaires. Yeah, they're all fucking bragging to each other about how many yachts they've got, how many it's this bullshit they've got, right? They're not, if they've got to use the subway station, they ain't sitting there going, I got fucking 50s in my pocket. I got this big old fucking chain. I got all this fucking money because someone's going to rob your ass.
Exactly. You're not invincible, folks. Again, but the most important thing is, Slick, cherish what you have. It's a blessing. You just said it. It's not guaranteed that you're going to have this wealth. So let's say if you don't have it, at least you can leave with something. If you're on a team, if you play 2 years of football, 2 complete seasons, you can technically be a millionaire depending on where you play. And even if not,
buy the house. That's all
buy
I
a house.
said.
If you are
buy the fucking house.
It's Slick. It's like
sell it.
Right. And that's the thing, the mindset. Unfortunately, Slick, you have people like that have this mindset. If they had $100,000, they go out and buy a car that's worth $68,000. Stupid as shit. Slick, for me, I'm getting a car no more than $12,000 because it's going to get me from A to B, and then it's like they're not thinking about the
mine's
long
only
run.
6, so
Right.
I live quite frugal. That's how I'm able to come to the States as often as I do because I
Right,
live
and
more
Slick,
frugal.
they don't, but a lot of people don't think, and these youngsters don't think about the long-term effects. If you get a car over 30 grand, think about the maintenance it's going to take to maintain that. So essentially, you're going to be paying more money. Because there was an NFL Kansas City first round player, Slick, got some of his relatives a $200,000 cars. Fucking dumb. Because now you got to deal with the maintenance, insurance, all of that shit. Why? And now, Slick, you've made your loved ones a target because somebody out there might go, okay, I'm going to take their shit. Again, people, we got to.
Here's the simplest way to make money, right? And this is how British people they're trying to make extra money, right? If you've got enough, you buy your house, you don't have to pay rent. You buy your house, you don't have to pay a mortgage, which means that you now have money in your pocket. You then use that money that you would have used to buy your house to buy a second house, and you let it out for more than the rent. So essentially, they're paying your rent for free, and you will pocket some of that money as well because rent is usually more expensive than mortgage.
And you said it's Slick, get a job where you can make $25 to $30 an hour. Now you have extra income.
Ridiculous. You could go $15 an hour because your expenditure is so fucking low, and someone's paying your mortgage on your one house, and your other house has just got amenities. When that house is paid off in 30 years, 25 years, whatever your mortgage lease is, you could sell it and you pocket that money, or you leverage it to buy the next house. So then you rent out 2 houses, and then. That's how you make simple money. It's never going to be big, but it's self-sustaining wealth.
Thank you, Slick. And again, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is including me. Everybody's not meant to be a fucking multimillionaire. That's just not how life works. You got to understand.
If you work hard enough, AJ, that we can all make it. There's not enough people in the world. If everyone became millionaires, the system would be fucking broken because no one's going to be a plumber. No one's going to be a mechanic because there's no fucking money in it. They all want to be fucking millionaires. And that's I think a lot of the problem with young people is they see these fucking IG people who are claiming that they're millionaires. They're not millionaires. They've got money from their streaming and their podcasts or whatever their influencing lifestyle that they do. They make money off it, which is self-sustaining, and it's they made themselves a good living, a very comfortable living, but they're not as rich as you think they are. They're given that facade because you sit there and you look at them and you go, wow, that's the life I want to lead. I want to be that. I asked my kid, I said, my daughter, I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said, I want to be a YouTuber. I said, it's a real fucking job. And I'm like, that's not a real fucking job.
Right. And people don't understand net worth. Ladies and gentlemen, net worth don't mean you have that liquidated cash. Your net worth can be worth $3 million, but in reality, you only might have $600,000 of that net worth. So again, Slick said it, everybody's not rich, or even for the people who are super rich, 9 times out of 10, they fuck somebody over to get to it. Now, if you can do that and live with yourself, that's a whole nother conversation. But again, young people, we're going to wrap this up. It's a blessing to be in the NFL. Cherish it. And also cherish your money. You don't have to be like somebody else. Be yourself. You could be a multimillionaire and still live off of McDonald's. If anything, you're doing it right. There's no reason to go to Ruth Chris or any of the steakhouses 4 times a week and go broke. Don't try to be like somebody else that's already established. If you're a 7th round pick, you shouldn't be trying to party with the first rounders. They have far more guaranteed money than your broke ass. Now, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Bucs Report, The Aftermath. Subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. If you want to see me cook people, and then Slick will join as well, and he will ask simple questions because he's qualified. AJ_turn up on TikTok. That is where I cook people to embarrass people. I had to be a little careful because TikTok is they're not as uncensored as the Bucs Report. But as always, though, Slick, always good to hear from you, my brother. Happy for your job. Go Bucs and take care of yourself, big dog. Peace.
Peace.
I'm about to get the bug out of here.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and those who commented. And Kings, Sean Goza, you're right. It was Leonard Fournette. Sorry, I got mixed up for some reason. I think because of the rotation of running back. Anyway, yes, it was Lenny Fournette was the running back, and then Rachaad White took over after Germany, despite everyone calling for him to take over earlier. And then Rachaad White hasn't really been anything ever since. And I'm hoping that chain breaks with Bucky. Bucky is the one that's had the best season out of all those running backs, and hopefully that sticks. And we don't have to start worrying. Of course, the running back stable has been upgraded as well, so we'll see how that goes. But on that note, guys, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!